Hi, Jill. Hi, Kate. Hi, Tracy. Isn't it warm? Is it just me, or is it like super warm? I'm warm. I'm too hot. It's horrible.
It's hot.
Hi, Alison. Hi, Tracy. We see, yeah, but I would expect you to have it really warm. Hi, Ali. Oh, I've been thinking about you so much. Do you want me to tell people for you? Hi, Wendy. It's lovely, Tracy. You've got to be kidding me. I flipping ate it. Hi, Millie. 105 degrees. What's that in Celsius? Except it does sound awfully warm. Hi, Mary. Mary, I'm having withdrawal symptoms. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Ali messaged me with some real... I'm getting upset now. With some really sad news on Saturday to let me know that, unfortunately, Polo's gone to the Rainbow Bridge. I think he'd done very, very well. Obviously, very well loved by all of us here. So if we could just send lots of love and thoughts to Ali, because it's never easy when we lose a companion like that. So sending you lots of love, darling. You know I know. I'm really sorry. But put some pictures of him in the group, because we love to see our pets. Oh, Mary's been on holiday. Oh, wow. We need to organise that.
Holiday? What's that?
What's that? Hi, Kari. Right. Okay. Oh, hi, Karen. Oh, but not. I better not forget. I better not forget to say hello to Karen. Otherwise, I'm going to be in truckloads of trouble. Right. Okay. So we are nearing the end. I think this class and one more, and we should be just about there. Now, oh gosh, remind me who it was. Somebody asked if we'd made the inserts to go into these, and the answer is I honestly can't remember. Did we? Oh, Kari, yes, I said to Mark, I thought you might be on your way. That is so exciting. Hi, Lorraine. So yeah, it was these, and do you know what? I don't think we did. Hi, Sue. So we'll get round to that. If we don't do it tonight, we'll do it next week. So yeah, I don't think we actually did do those bits. I can't remember who asked.
Anne says hi on YouTube.
Hi, Anne on YouTube.
And Sue.
And Sue. Oh yeah, hi, Sue. Right, okay, so what I want to do tonight is I want to do the covers. I want to actually make the covers of the book, not necessarily decorate, but certainly make the covers and the hinges. And I'd like to do page 5, which, if you remember, is the page with the expandable pocket to put bits and pieces in, so memorabilia and stuff. I've got loads to go in mine. Hi, Jen. Okay, so what I think we'll do is, because I still want you to leave it, although the way that we're going to do the hinges is a little bit different. So we... it's not so imperative that we leave it, but we still need to leave it a little bit, because as you will notice, this book has got 5 pages, but I'm still using that lovely Stack the Deck, except I've had to rethink the way to do it because it's got 5 pages, and Stack the Deck works best when we've got an even number. So I have a bodge for us. So tell me, those of you with a kit, I know you have got a piece of white Tyvek, and I know that you have got a piece of black Tyvek, and you've got 3 of the thinner chipboard, 1 of the thicker chipboard. So just bear that in mind when you're cutting. You've got 1 piece that's slightly thicker, which we will not be using tonight. But in this pack where you had your grey board and stuff, did I give you some thicker black card? I can't remember whether I did or not. It's not important. In fact, I'm still debating whether or not it's the way to go. But did I give you some thicker black card? Can't remember. I did.
Does, yes.
Okay, right. Okay, well, we'll do it that way then. It doesn't really matter in the great scheme of things because we're going to be using black Tyvek, but it will be fine. Okay, righty-ho. So we've got quite a lot to do tonight, so let's get started. The first thing that I want to do is cut out our covers, and I'm using, you've got 3 pieces. Hi, Kathleen. You've got 3 pieces of thinner chipboard, the 1500 microns, which means it's 1.5 millimeters thick, which I don't even know what that is in English. What's that?
It's
a bit.
Tad under a 16th of an inch.
Okay, slightly under a 16th of an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut our covers. So I'm just going to draw mine because it's easier. And I believe that we are cutting 8 by 8.5. Is that right?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, so we're going to cut 2 at 8 by 8.5. Oh, how's it going, Alison? I still haven't 100% decided what we're doing for August. I really need to pull my finger out. But I've been quite busy, as I've sneakily shown you this week, working on our next book, which is using the absolutely stunning Spectrum Sherbet 49 and Market. Why does that not look straight? 8.5. Eight and a half. I'm glad I drew this first. That looks straight. Yeah, it does actually. Okay, oh, and after all that, we can get our spine out of this piece as well, which is 3 inches. Now, I've just been talking to Diane about spines and making it wider. I'll sit down and work out your measurements if you like. Actually, I'm going to do it that way around first.
Helen says hi.
Hi, Helen. Now, when I'm cutting through my grey board, I like to do several sweeps without pressing too hard, because that saves my wrists, I think. So you're going to have a piece of spare grey board. I don't know why I didn't realise that a bit sooner. Darn it. Never mind.
Tallulah says hello.
Hi, Tallulah. It is warm, isn't it? I told you it was warm today.
I'm getting warmer.
I know. Okay, so I've cut my cover and my... Oh, I'm a twat. Oh, I mean, I'm an idiot. Or am I an idiot? Yes, I'm an idiot. That's why I gave you 3 pieces of card. 3 pieces of grey board. Because it's 8.5 by 3. So ignore that bit. You are going to have to cut it out for the 3rd piece. So I want 2 at 8 by 8.5.
Yeah, Friday's going to be
And I'm not looking forward to it, really.
Oh, Trish apologises for being late. Flipping Facebook will let her chat again.
Oh,
It's a nightmare.
there's been some strange things going on lately.
Indeed.
Okay, so the 8.5 inch measurement, that's the height. just to bear that in mind. So I've got my 2 covers, which are 8 by 8.5. Is 8.5 the height? Yes, 8.5 is the height. So then I want to cut my spine piece, which is 3 by 8.5. That's right, isn't it?
Yep. It's on the screen there.
Okay, lovely.
Oh, Jen said she had trouble getting into Ellie's live like yesterday.
Oh, wasn't it brilliant? Didn't she do well? Really, we were honestly doing our shopping.
Yeah.
But I was watching when we were wandering around, and thought she did a fabulous job. And this is going to be a regular occurrence, monthly, I think, or is it every 2 weeks? Ellie will tell me. Is Ellie here? Don't know.
I haven't seen it.
But yeah, this is going to be brilliant. Really enjoyed watching her. Okay, right, so let's put those away. Right, now I'm going to cut my Tyvek. Now, Tyvek is not compulsory, but it is a really useful tool. So if you've got, because I know I've just been asked what Tyvek is, and no, I'm not, before you ask. But Tyvek is this rather cool material that looks like paper, sounds like paper, but it isn't paper. It's actually a plastic, and generally speaking, it's used to build houses. But from our point of view, it's great because it's really, really strong and it doesn't tear generally. So we can use it on the spine of our books to strengthen it. So that constant kind of closing and opening is going to keep it nice and fresh and strong. This is for our hinges, but we'll come on to that in a minute. So I'm going to cut my, do you know what? I'm just going to cut this at 8.5 inches. It doesn't have to be too specific, but I'm just going to cut that at 8.5 inches, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my spine piece and I'm going to stick that right in the middle of the Tyvek, just like that, okay? So where's my glue? Over here. So I'm using wet glue on the Tyvek, but then again, what don't I use wet glue for?
Cooking.
True. And I've just thought I'm going to need some double-sided tape, and I actually haven't got any.
So I'm going to get Max to get it.
Oh, yeah.
He's usually got it.
He usually has. I'm just wondering if my honking chunky tape will do, but I might have to get you to go and grab me some. I might be out of that as well. I don't know. Oh. Right. Okay, so what I've done is I've just put my, this isn't quite the middle, but it's near enough. I've just put my Tyvek in on my spine on top of my Tyvek. Now, I find the easiest way to go is actually to line up the bottom of my spine and the Tyvek along one of these lines on my cutting board. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some wet glue onto this Tyvek. Now, if you haven't got Tyvek, don't worry, you still make your book. You just put this straight down onto your cardstock that you're going to cover your book with, okay? Right, so I am going to put my piece of, well, this is going to be the front at the moment, and I'm going to line it up along the bottom here, but I'm going to leave a gap of about 1/8 of an inch there between my spine and my cover. And that's going to allow it to open and close smoothly. Let me just put my glasses on and make sure I'm not missing anything. Yes, it's like paper and doesn't rip.
That's exactly what we said.
That, yes, good. Right, okay, and we're going to do exactly the same with the back piece. Let me just have a look. I can tell you where it is. Oh God, look at this. I've got everything on top of my tape. There's the phone.
You get a bag of ice cubes as well.
Yeah, there is a bag of ice cubes. Would you mind awfully? I haven't got any at all. It's in the top. No, it's not. It's in the box nearest the far end. There's two boxes on the top shelf, and there's all of the paper bags, and it's the bottom box next to them.
Yeah, which type?
The honking chonky.
You want the honking chonky?
Yes, please. Okay, right. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the back one here. So I'm going to line it up, make sure it's nice and straight along the bottom here. Max is hot. Hot stuff. And I'm just going to put that down like that. Okay. Right, so basically when we fold this up now, that's going to make our book shape. So what I want to do now is cover it. Now, what I did with mine was I actually used some of the black cardstock, the thinner cardstock that we've used for our pages, we're actually going to use for our book. Now, the fun bit here is that I haven't got any tape. I've absolutely zero idea. Max has a tendency to run off with it, which doesn't help. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, that's not it. I'll have to wait for Mark to come back. Oh, don't know. Right. So when we finish this class tonight at 10 o'clock, so not long after we finish, I'm going to swap groups and I'm going to go over into Crafting Together with All Brands, and I'm going to be doing a live with Phoebe, who you'll know from the group. But Phoebe is the most magnificent box maker and bookmaker and mixed media artist, absolutely fantastic. And she is on the Graphic 45 brand ambassador team with me this year, and we decided that it would be really good fun to do a live together. So we've chosen, thank you darling, we've chosen a theme of circles, and I'm going to use Sunkissed, and I'm going to make these little hoops. So that's what we're going to be doing over in Crafting Together with All Brands at 10 p.m. UK time, which I know is 6 a.m. in Japan, which is where Phoebe is. So she's getting up super early. So once we've done here, if you want to come and join us over there, you'd be most welcome. Right, now, you can just use ordinary, like narrow tape for this. I'm just going to use the super big thick one because it's quick and that's all I've got at the moment. We have got some of this in the shop, and thanks to Ellie, it's called honking chonky tape because it's wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it along the cover of my spine, but I'm going to work out where the gaps are, and I am not going to put the double-sided tape on there because I think it can pull the paper that you use to cover the book with, and that can, go towards cracking, which, let's be honest, is something that we don't want. Now, this doesn't have to be pretty at all. So if you're just using narrow tape, you don't have to have them a certain, width apart. They don't have to be beautifully tidy. All it's going to do is just anchor our cardstock that we're going to cover the book with onto there. So like I said, it does not need to be super tidy. Now I'm going to do this much quicker because I'm using the extra wide tape. So let's have a feel. That's there. It is seriously hot, isn't it?
So still.
We should have got that fan.
Which one?
Well, just a fan.
Yes.
I said we should get it before it got hot. Right, I'm going to put one on the spine area, but not where those gaps are. Okay, right, that'll do. Right, so now I'm just going to make sure that it's stuck down well. So I'm just going to use my bone folder for that. And I'm going to do 3 pieces. I'm going to do one at the front, one at the back, and then one across the spine area. So I'm just going to grab a couple of sheets of my card. And I'm going to just take off, hang on, you know what I'm going to take off? I'm going to take off my cardigan. It is seriously warm.
I've got nothing left to take off.
Oh, that's too much information. Oh, helps if you have nails for this bit. So I'm just going to take off part of the tape. Like that. And I'm going to grab a piece of my cardstock. Let's lay it down, and I'm going to lay this down on top, probably about there-ish, just so I've got enough to cover it over. That'll do. It's not the first time, Jen. Right. Might to that corner. Now I like to put the end one over first. Now normally I like to put a little bit of double-sided tape on there just to hold it down while the glue sticks. So I'm going to have to just bodge this honking chunky tape. I bought a lot of double-sided tape. I think it was an offer that Hobbycraft had on. And it's lasted me about 4 years. And now I've run out. And it's a disaster.
Disaster?
It is.
Jill says, is this with the thicker black card?
No, this is the thin black card. This is the normal stuff that we've made the rest of the book out of. The thicker black card is for our hinges, although it is not really necessary because we're going to be using Tyvek. But this is the thinner card. Don't know what you mean. The threat's always there, Jen. Gosh, it is hot. I hope it cools down by later.
She says now she's crying. Oh, she hasn't nipped extra bits.
Have you had an accident with your
extra bits?
Extra bits, yes. This is why we hold the retreats in the autumn. Nobody wants to see naked crafting. Unless it's, you know, I don't know if Jason Momoa crafts. Actually, I don't even think I'd want to see him naked, to be truthful.
Well, you certainly wouldn't want to see him crafting anyway.
Why?
Oh, yeah, that's what you want to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll teach him to make a book.
Oh, lots of books going on.
Yes, book. Right, okay, getting there.
Jen says we had this talk in our last retreat.
Oh. Well, I reckon I'm going to have the next book to show you. If not at the weekend, Monday. Oh, I might have just stuck that to my desk. Right, now we're going to do exactly the same with the other side. A naked retreat's a thing.
I don't know.
They're not ours, are they?
No.
Oh, this won't come off. I'm talking about my sticky tape, not my clothing. Okay. Right, I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So let's, I'm just going to eyeball it. Probably not straight. Doesn't. Oh dear, that was stupid. Oh, I'm going to have fun with that. I should have put that further over. Oh well, never mind. It'll work out, I hope. Try and leave yourselves a bit more room at the edge. Oh, Tracy. Goodness me.
Oh dear.
For those of you watching on YouTube, Tracy says we did do a jammy retreat. Sounds like a plan. Some participants did not understand that jammies did not mean lingerie. Ooh. You're suddenly interested now, aren't you, dear? Right. I think we should maybe do pyjamas at the Christmas retreat. We should do Christmas pyjamas. Okay, well, I would suggest that you leave a bit more card than I did there to cover that. Not a smart move, but never mind. It'll work out. It always does. Let's fold that over. Pardon me. Excellent, Mary. We'll do it. Oh, was that a cat? Have I just kicked a cat? Oh, no. I've kicked my slippers. Oh, yeah. Less stuff to take. Was wearing my Christmas pyjamas the other day because I'd run out of ordinary pyjamas. Right. It's not long till Christmas, is it?
No.
I like Christmas.
Sure.
Have you seen the new Graphic 45, Chris? I know I keep harping on about Graphic 45, but I did previous to, the brand ambassador thing. But have you seen the Christmas paper warm wishes. Oh, I can assure you that we will definitely be doing something with that at the Christmas retreat, because we're going to be doing 2 projects at that. We're going to be doing a sort of a wreath out of paper, and I'm thinking I'm going to be using AB Studio Holly Jolly Christmas for that, although I haven't 100% made up my mind. But definitely warm wishes for the mini book. But I have to smile because this just shows how sad I am. The deluxe collector's edition is 'Twas a Night Before Christmas, which was what we used for our wedding. Now, here's a book with a spine. Look at the size of this. I'd measured it earlier on. I can't remember what it was. I think it was about 5 inches. I had it. It was so dusty. I had this on my dress. And then, I had that on my, what do you call it?
Yeah,
bouquet, because that was a picture of my mum. And then, yeah, this is our wedding album, which it was all focused on the graphic 45 paper that year. This is a Kathy King design. But yeah, oh look, I haven't put the pictures of us crying in here. But it is a really, really nice Christmassy. I'm getting all oh look, that was the music that we had. We cut our cake to, well, I don't know if I dare tell you. If you don't know the band, don't go and look them up because they're really rude. But we cut the cake to Community Property by Steel Panther. Oh look. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So yeah, so that's the deluxe collector's thingy, which is also gorgeous. But I have a personal love of that one anyway. Right, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cover this spine piece. So if I just get my ruler, let's cut it 7 inches. So just another piece of ordinary cardstock. And I'm just going to cut it at 7 inches. Okay. This is going to fit over here. Now, normally I'd use nice thin double-sided tape on this, but I haven't got any, so I'm not going to. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on here, which I think is just going to go in the wrong place when I put it on my book. It's going to go where I didn't want it to, but I haven't got much choice today. So do as I say, don't do as I do, all right?
Yes, yeah.
So I'm putting this double-sided tape on badly, but I'm leaving a bit of a gap between the tape and the edge of the paper, and there is a good reason for that. So let me just get my bone folder. Just get rid of some of these awful bits that I've just left in there. That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the backing off my double-sided tape. And I'm going to put some glue on the edge here, because this is the bit that we need to stick really, really well. Then I'm going to line it up again exactly the same way as I did before. So I'm going to line it up down here so that I've got a nice straight line. I'm going to take the backing off that piece like that, and I'm going to lie that down in the middle. Now it's going to go right. Definitely do as I say and don't do as I do, because that is going to go right across the tape, which I didn't want it to. Okay.
That's your honky chunky tape, yeah.
I know, it's because it's so wide. So yeah. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make sure that I've got a really, really, really good adhesion here and here. So important. Okay. Oh. And then I'm going to fold these over and glue that down. Oh, what a mess. And glue that down there. Okay. Don't think we're going to get everything done tonight. I think we might have to do page 5 next week. See how we go. I know, but it'll still be good for next week. Okay, let's fold that over. Okay, so that is my book covered. So we don't have to leave this one a week because the hinges are going to be a little bit different. But I do want you to leave it for just a little while. So if you put that to one side and we'll come back to it in a minute. Right, okay, now I want to work on the hinges. Now, the hinges, this is quite a heavy book, okay? And because it's heavy, I'm going to strengthen the hinges a little bit by adding my black Tyvek, because the black Tyvek is thicker than the white, very simply because it's got the sort of like the black print on it. You can, if you've only got white Tyvek, you can colour it. You can use a Sharpie, you can use ink. So if you've just got white, then use white and just colour it. But what we want to do to make our hinges is we want to put this piece of black Tyvek on top of black card. So I know I've given you 2 sheets of the thicker black card, but you're really only going to need 1 in theory. So if you grab your sheet of black card, the thicker black card, if you've got it, don't worry if you haven't, the thinner will do just as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our double-sided tape to completely cover this piece of cardstock, okay? So I'm using 1 sheet of the thicker cardstock that was in your little kind of like extra paper pack, and I am going to cover it. Now, it's really important that there's no gaps. So I'm going to lay this honking chonky tape, and I'll cut it in a minute, down onto this cardstock without leaving any gaps, okay? So I'm going to keep going all the way across like that with the cat fur, because I seem to have an awful lot of that.
Yeah, it's on my bedroom floor.
Oh, there's stuff everywhere.
In the shape of bats.
Okay, now this is when I really need some of my thinner tape, and I haven't got any, so this is going to be really sticky and gooey, but never mind. Needs must. Okay, so I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure that that is stuck really, really well to the desk. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to... Oh, Mark. Cut those bits off. Darling.
Yes.
I might need you to clean my desk.
Stunt hand.
Thank you, dear. I'm just cutting round it now, okay?
Oh dear. Sticky in it.
I know. It's good stuff.
It's stonking, honking, chunking tape.
it does get really sticky. Everything gets stuck. It is everywhere. I might need your alcohol wipes. That was my own fault, really. I've got nobody to blame but myself for that. Oh, it's all sticky.
Diane asks, can you paint the white?
Yes, you are. Well, yes, you can actually. A Sharpie or inking is best. I haven't done it myself, but I know that there's plenty in the group that have. So if anybody that has, I think Sue Cass is a good person to ask, who has done that. I have a feeling Tracy Petering has as well. So if anybody has done that, then if you could advise, that would be grand.
Austin. Mama's little man gun sticky.
Just a bit. Oh. Now my scissors are all sticky. I wish I knew where my big scissors were.
I wish I knew where my Fitbit was.
Oh, yeah. Told you, you've got to ask St Anthony.
I have.
Well, you haven't asked very hard.
No, I didn't.
Because if you had, he'd have found it. It's not usually this difficult because I don't usually have to cut this end off. I've usually just used some thinner tape. Never mind, it'll give you all a chance to catch up.
Can't reach it. Three-handed crafting. You saw it here first.
Yeah. Okay, so I've covered that and very badly cut the ends off. Ugh.
Pretty much everything was bad about that.
I know it was, wasn't it? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the backing bit. Right, one more.
Oh. Yeah, the problem is Diane's on YouTube, so all the comments she's not seen.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me get rid of this, and I will tell you. Right, Diane. Jen says, "Oh, hi, Ellie. We were talking about you earlier." Tracy, I thought you knew about colouring Tyvek. I had a feeling. Alison Smith says one solution, and she's quite right actually, is to stick 2 pieces of cardstock together. That would absolutely work. Jen says don't use acrylic craft paint, it'll peel off. Use ink or a Sharpie. Sue says use a broad Sharpie, not too bad a result, but better for 2 coats. Tracy said yes, your Sharpie is easy to use and covers the grey board well as well. Now, we were talking about your class last night, Ellie. Right, okay, so what we've got to do now, I know, is stick our black Tyvek on top of this sticky here. Okay, black side up, please, people, because what we want when we've done is black on one side from the card and black on the other from the black Tyvek. Now, here's my tip would be. Oh, look.
Oh no.
My tip would be. Hang on.
There's a big sticky bit there.
Oh no. Yeah.
I can't reach.
Well, don't worry, just leave it for a minute.
Oh.
Right, my tip would be start in the corner. So I'm going to start now, and this is trouble because I'm left-handed, but I presume it works either way. I'm going to hold the Tyvek here, and I'm going to start off and just use my finger just to stick that into that corner and line it up along the bottom like that. And then, oh my God, I'm just going to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And that worked a treat. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure that sticks down well. I will say, if you get lines in it because you've got bubbles, don't worry, because actually it buffs that quite well. Okay, right. So that is what I'm going to use for my hinges. So I'm going to start off, and I really suggest that you don't cut this until I have. Okay, I'm just going to cut this at 8.5 inches. Because that is the height of my hinges. Okay. Now the first one, I think, let me just get is 8 by, it's 8.5, not 8, because I'm an idiot. Oh, for goodness sake. No, that's right.
8 by 8.
Yeah, so 8.5. 8.5 is your height. And then I want you to cut it at 4 inches, but just hold your horses. Don't do any cutting until I've made all of my hinges, all right? So I'm going to cut one at 8, one at
1 at 4 and 1 at 3.
Yeah, hang on. 1 at 4, 1 at 3, 4, 5. Oh, I need an extra 1/4 of an inch. Right, okay, so I'm going to cut one. Right, so I've got those pieces. So it can't be 1.5. It's going to have to be 1 1/4. Right, so what I'm going to do first of all is I am going to score, and I'm going to score with the Tyvek side down because that's just easier. It doesn't catch. I am going to score on this first one. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 3 inches, and 3.5. Oh, that's 3.5 inches. Okay. So let me just make sure that this works before you do anything. So I'm just going to fold that up like that. And that up like that. Hold on. Yep. That one is going to be 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 and 2.5. And this one is going to be, if we just do it easy, let's just go, I'll do it the right way around. Let's just go 1/2 and 1. Okay, right. So I've got my 3 pieces of hinge. So this is the piece that was 4 inches across, okay? That first one there, that line there is going to be, it's a guide for where we put the page. It's not actually doing anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold. I'm just going to burnish like that. Actually, I'm going to burnish it both ways because I want it to be able to move. Okay, so, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So let's just burnish that. Okay, so that is the start of my spine. All right, my hinges even. Right, then the next one that we've got that's 3 inches, I want you to do the same on that. So we're going to fold on that second score line. and burnish like that. Okay, so we've got that, which is going to fit. It doesn't matter which way round you do this, whether this is Tyvek side up or what's it side up, but this is going to fit in the middle just like that. Okay, so that's going to fit exactly in the middle. So if you put some glue on the back of this spine here like that, and then place that exactly in the middle, so you've got 1/2 inch kind of gusset on each side, like we did with the bee book. Okay, and glue that down. Okay. Right, so if you leave that for a second, we're going to need to extend this a little bit. So what I want you to do is I want you to cut a piece that is 1/2 inch, just out of your black cardstock. 1/2 inch by, to do it on the other one, by 8.5 inches.
And that's, is this called stack the deck?
Sort of. I'm just
with an addition.
Yes, it's got, because I've got an odd number of pages. So I'm just going to cut an extra piece, and this is more of a guide than anything else. That's going to, oh, I can't cut this at 1/2 inch. It's 8.5 by 1/2 inch. And the only reason that we're doing this is going to be a guide. So if you just fold on there, this bit that's 1/4 inch, what we want to do is just stick that on top like that, because so all this is doing is providing us with a guide, nothing more. Just helps us to place it a little bit more easily. Okay. Right. If we had American sized A4, this wouldn't be a problem, because that is just going to be a guide for where we put this hinge, so that it goes in the middle. We've got this sort of 1/2 inch guide here that we've just made. We're going to stick some glue on that, and what we're going to do with this edge is we're going to stick it as close as we can to that one, which will put this hinge right in the middle of our hinge set. So what we've got are 5 hinges. So let's just glue that down. Okay. Right, so I'm going to leave that to kind of settle for a minute or two. So you can see here what I've got is my hinges like that, okay, with 1/2 inch gusset in between them. So our cover, what I want to do now is just cover this bit here with a bit of black card. Oh God, I'm sweating.
Oh.
So for the first time ever, I'm going to tell you just to fold your cover like that so that you can see. But what we want to do is cut a little piece of cardstock just out of the thin cardstock just to go on there. So I'm going to cut that at say 5. Let's go 5.5. 5.5 by 8 3/8. So it's just slightly under the 8.5. Okay, because this is now going to fit over there like that. Because when we put our hinge unit on, we don't want to be able to see the gaps. So basically what we're doing is just covering up the gaps, okay? So where's my tape? Oh, it's here. So obviously you do this with thinner tape, this bit.
No.
So let's put some glue on there. And I'm going to put this across that spine like that and just rub it down. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to leave that for a couple of minutes before I put my hinge on. I'm just going to go over my hinge as well, again, just to make sure that it's stuck down well, because that's kind of important. Make sure that it's all stuck. That seems to be all right. Okay. Oh, I've got glue everywhere. So my hinge unit, what I've got is five hinges. Okay. Doesn't want to glue for some reason. I think it's too hot.
I can relate.
Yeah, me too. Okay, right. So if I very gently fold this now, I can see exactly where my spine is. So I know where to put this spine unit because I've got these two lines down here, and I need to place this right in the middle like that. Okay, so I've got a 1/2 inch at the front and a 1/2 inch at the back. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of my hinge piece like that. Plenty of glue. Because we need to make sure that it sticks really well. I'm going to place that right in the middle of my spine. Make sure it's straight. Make sure it's in the middle. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to leave that now. I don't want to do anything with that until next week because I need to make sure that it's stuck really, really well. Okay, so that is the spine and the hinges put together. So I would suggest that you just keep going back over the next 10 minutes or so. Just keep pressing it down. Just make sure that it's stuck on really well. Your bone folder can be quite helpful with this too. Make sure that it's just stuck down really well. Don't really want everything to fall to pieces. It's not a good look. I think I need some more glue on that. There we go. Okay, right, so I'm going to leave that to one side. Right, where are we? Okay, so page 5. Do you want to carry on and do page 5? It doesn't matter, Kate, although mine's facing up. I think it's easier if it's facing up. You've all gone to sleep, me too. It's too warm.
Yes.
Well, thinking hard. Ugh, covered in glue. Carry on. All right. Okay, so page... Oh, I don't even know where my page 5 is. Page 5, which is the only one that we've got left to do, is this expandable pocket. Okay, that I'm going to put bits and pieces in from the weekend, so you could put I don't know, memorabilia, leaflets, invitations, that sort of thing in. Oh, by the way, did you all find the video for the charms? Because I did pop that up the other day. Right, okay, so grab your trimmers. Oh. And I want you to cut one at 10 by 7.5 inches. So one at 10 by 7.5. And one at 7 by 5 inches. So one at 7 by 5. Okay. Right. So grab your scoreboards. We're going to start with the biggest one. This one that is 7 by 10. And we are going to score on the 10-inch side first. So that's 10 inches at the top.
Is it 7.5 by 10 or
10
7?
by 7.5.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the 10-inch side. Well, we would do if I could find my embossing tool. There it is. And I want you to score on the 10-inch side at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 8.5 inches, 9 inches, and 9.5 inches. Okay, turn it around 90 degrees. So we're going to be scoring on the 7.5 inch side. And I want you to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. Okay, so you've got a piece with a really funny grid on it like that. Okay, then this is the kind of the envelopey bit, the envelope flat bit. we're going to score on the 5-inch side at 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1, and 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so this time you've got these kind of like 3 gussety things here. Okay, this one is 10 by 7.5, Jill, and that one is 7 by 5, I think. Yeah, 7 by 5. Okay, right. Now, if you get yourself some scissors, not sticky ones, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do the pants cut, but I want you to cut up to where that first score line intersects there, like that, and then across like that. Okay, so it's a bit like the pants cut. So we're going to cut up to where that score line is there, and then we're going to cut just like that. Okay, so you, like I said, you've got the pants cut. So let's start with the outside of the pocket. So I'm going to fold on that first score line there, and then I'm going to do like an accordion fold like that. Okay, and the same on the other side. So I'm going to fold like an accordion fold like that, and exactly the same at the bottom, though we might find that we have to cut a little bit off. We'll see when I fold those down. No, that's just fine. Right, so that is our pocket front, but as you can see, it's got these expandable bits to it. Now, this is a case of me doing, again, do as I say, don't do as I do. Before you stick this down to your page, I strongly recommend that what you do is you cover these bits first. So if you're going to put some pattern paper, not on this first strip, but on these next 2, it's far easier to do it at this point than it is once it's in your book. So ignore this first strip here, but do decorate that bit and that bit, okay? Because you'll see those. This is going to attach itself to the page like that, but you will see inside these. Now, I didn't do it to these because I was stupid, but you can see here that ideally what I should have done is put some pattern paper on there before I stuck it in my book. Okay, so pattern paper on the side, the bottom, and the other side. All right, so you want to do that before you stick it in your book. Now, goodness knows where my pages are. I don't even think I've touched them since last week. Hopefully this is them. Oh, there's one. I haven't decorated it, needless to say. That's got one on. Okay, right. So this pocket, when I attach it, and I'm not going to attach mine now either because I want to decorate it, I'm going to put glue on those 3 pieces there, and then I'm going to stick it to my page like that, okay? So it just goes on as a normal pocket, but obviously it's a little bit more tricky because of the folds in it, okay? So that will fit on there like that. Then your pocket to get your kind of like your flap, if you fold on the 1/2 inch bit here like that, this is kind of like just an extendable bit that you can just lightly fold on those score lines there like that. And that is going to glue to the very top of your page there. So where you've got that 1/2 inch flap there, actually I can do this bit because I don't need to faff with it. So I'm just going to put some glue on that bit there, on that flap. And that is going to fit at the top of my page like that. Okay. So that's now got that kind of gussety roll top, which means that I can fill it with lots of lovely things. And then when I put my stripes, my strips on there to decorate, that will fit on the bottom like that underneath the flap. Okay. Now the closure is very simply, I've cut out one of the Union flags. I've got a piece of cardstock, which the sizes are here, 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. And I've just folded it in half. And then I've glued it. I've folded my flap down. And then I put some glue on the back of this, but only up to about here, so that this flap will tuck underneath. Okay, so you can see here, I haven't glued it all the way down. I've only glued it part of the way down. Okay, and then that will go on once you've decorated the rest of it up. Okay, I think that makes sense. Right, so that is what we want to do today. If you finish decorating, leave your hinges, etc., to dry. Okay, just keep pressing them down, make sure that they're sticking really well. You'll find probably that the ends you get a little bit of white. So all I would suggest that you do there when it's dry is grab your Sharpie, which I've just had in my hand. And then you can just use your Sharpie just to go over the edges at the top, just to cover up any white bits that you've got. You get the idea, but this needs to dry properly first, really. So you can just use your Sharpie just to go over the edges, give you that nice black edge. And then next week, I'm going to leave that to dry actually. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to put our pages in, and then we'll look at the covers inside and outside. On the outside, I've got a frame which we need to make. And then on the inside of the pages, we've got a double pocket going on, and that's the same on the front and the back. So that's it for tonight here. If you want to join us again at 10 p.m, so that is in an hour and a quarter, over on Crafting Together with All Brands, we will be making these little hoops. And Phoebe is going to be making the most gorgeous little round boxes as well. So definitely worth popping over there if you can. Otherwise, we will see you on we'll see you tomorrow for the next part of the Box of Delights over in Crafting Together with All Brands. And we'll see you on Sunday for 6x6 Sunday, which is this little mini with Stamperia Savannah. And I might have our next book to show you then, I hope. All right then, guys, take care. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.